I wanted to begin with the anthrax investigation, which we can't get any information about, but yet the Senate apparently got a briefing on it, and we have Richard Hertling, acting Assistant Attorney General, wrote Congressman Rush Holt saying that we can't give you any information or a briefing in the House. Is there any way we can overcome this difference of views?
I'd be happy to discuss with the Department of Justice the possibility of providing some form of briefing with regard to what is happening in the anthrax investigation. It is an ongoing investigation, and quite obviously we have some concerns that it may be maintained in the confidentiality be maintained. But in the meantime, I'll discuss with the Department a mechanism whereby we can give you a briefing as to what we're doing, the number of agents on the case, and some of the aspects of the case that would not compromise the ongoing investigation.
Thank you. Now, the national security letters, the Inspector General's report said that of the 143,074 requests between 2003 and 2005 involved information on U.S. citizens, most of them presumably innocent. And there are those in the Congress that begin to question the continued giving of the FBI this broad NSL authority in light of the findings not only from the Inspector General's report, but from the FBI's own internal audit, that the Bureau has systemic difficulties in limiting national security letters to appropriate uses. Your comments, please.
First of all, let me say I absolutely understand the concern from the IG's report. A couple of preliminary points to make, and that is that the Inspector General did not find any intentional activity or actions by FBI agents to circumvent and obtain records to which they were not entitled. And in almost every case, the FBI was entitled to the records that were obtained. One of the concerns I think is raised is the fact that there are so many and that they are U.S. citizens. And I would give you perhaps a hypothetical that would explain the necessity for the use of that tool. We will, upon occasion, have investigations such as we had overseas this last few weeks, where in the United Kingdom there were a couple of cars left outside a nightclub with the expectation they'd explode. There was a terrorist attack in Scotland, and a year ago, if you recall, there were a group of individuals in the United Kingdom who were arrested intending to bring on board liquid explosives on a number of planes and blow them up. Either international investigations or domestic investigations, we will find in the course of those investigations telephone numbers that they have utilized and be passed to us by British authorities, email addresses, and other identifiers of communication. If we have individuals in the United States who are in contact with individuals who are part of a terrorist cell overseas, it is incumbent upon us to determine whether or not they are contacting people in the United States who may be terrorists, may be part of that group, or to determine that they are not persons part of that group. In order to get those records, we use national security letters. The standard needs to be relevance to our investigation. It is important that we track down every possible lead to individuals in the United States who might be undertaking terrorist attacks. It is not something that we did. We did not have the tools prior to September 11th. It is fair to say that to the extent that we have been in some ways successful in preventing terrorist attacks since September 11th, it is attributable to the tools that have been given to us under the Patriot Act. Let me finish by saying that what we did not have in place, which we should have had in place, is a compliance program to assure that the procedures we had were being followed across the field and that our databases were accurate and up to date. We did not have that. We have put that into place. And my hope and expectation is that with all of the changes we have made, we will never again face the problem that we faced in the last few months on items such as national security letters.
Well, I have more questions, of course, but my time's expired. I'll yield to Lamar.